Okay, market from one end of the range to that key support area. Boom, boom, boom. And what is that? That's called institutionals. That's not, retailers. That's institutionals. Went all the way back up and traded just above the prior high. And let's go take a look at the super dots chart. It's just kind of wild to take a look at that one. Let's go take a look. Okay, so here is the super dots chart from one side of the bands to the other. That's like record time. I track this stuff statistically. So let's go pull this up so we get the crosshairs. So there's the low pivot, 10:37 US Central Time. And then to get to the other side of the bands, right about there, we started going outside the bands. That's 11:04. That's really, really, really fast. So from 10:37 to 11:04, that's in the top like 10% of speed that I see on indices from one side of the bands to the other. So how does that happen? Well, it usually only happens when there's a news release, whether it's scheduled or unscheduled. Like let's say, we're trading down here and then PPI comes out, or we're trading down here and NFP comes out. Then you can get that amount of price movement in that short of a period of time. But what I want to show you is you got to see this is not untypical when there's very significant options expiration days going on. So as I stated in the prior video, and let me go show it one more time, you got to realize when you go into these big options expiration days, expect the market can have some really wild swings. So you got to kind of be prepared for it. So let's go take a look at that, what I pointed out earlier, that statement. Okay, where is it at? Where is it at? Okay, here we go. Again, Goldman Sachs estimates that over 3.4 trillion US listed options will expire. And then they go on and they talk about 1.9 trillion in S&P 500. So we're talking 3.4 trillion, and it's a new all-time record. The largest October options expiration recorded. And that includes, basically about 2 trillion in SPX options, 760 billion, and there's other options that expire. The total 3.4 trillion. So if you don't think, you have to realize that, like, if I go into the trade day, and I knew that today, so I was like, I had my mom strat on, and I had it on a little bit bigger position size than I typically do right out of the gates for the 832. And I, just because I knew, I'm like, we're going to come out of the gates like a bucking bronco today, especially after how trash the opening hour was yesterday. So not at all surprised from the 8:30 open. Look at our range. Like that, as that move was playing out, I'm like, yep, here goes. Institution is going to go run up and at least tag that level. And they came right up. And I think they just missed it. Then they pulled it all the way back. So they pulled it all the way back to this pre-market lows, US cash session lows to the T. And then we had the prior key level from the big sell-off day. That came right up to about here. So we just barely missed it. And then now they've officially came and did a levels test. They didn't sweep the level, but they've tested it from before. So let's go look at that level. And it was basically just a node from the big sell day. So it was right here. So we lifted, had that M pattern, big rollover, and then we had an area right here that I'd been tracking. So let me put that right here. So on a 4-hour chart, the way I teach 4-hour chart level tracking, the exact same way I saw it done in 2 institutional firms, that's exactly what I do. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, bing, bada bing, something like that. I'm not from the East Coast, so I'm not qualified to talk in that speak. I'm from Minnesota, so I was the kid in Minnesota that talked more than every other kid in my neighborhood. And they're like, hey, you're supposed to be calm, patient, nice, and stoic. Why do you talk so much? Like, because I'm a contrarian. So, anyhow, there you go. Scalp dots chart on fire today. Look at all those triangles. Sell, 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 sell. Buy, 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 buy. Buy, sell, buy, sell. Buy, buy some more. Sell them all. Buy, buy, sell. Just like ping pong. I love these super bands are in a realm of their own. This is the seventh version of this style of bands, and this one hit it out of the park when we went to all new math in a whole completely new way of what the programmer uses the term computational style of programming, whatever the heck that means. I'm not a programmer, so and I tried programming once, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I do this, I'm gonna go nuts. But anyhow, we came up and we just cleaned out that level just slightly. So I'll actually call that a level sweep. And that's our new recent high. And then we got one just above it, a little bit higher. So there you go. Great action today. And oh, I'm gonna blip that out. I just threw a little short on that, one lot wonder. Grab another extra 100 and change, and I'm done for the day. So yeah, fantastic market action today. There is one person I see in our chat room. They have a regular job. They said they've had the mom signals on by accident all day, and so far, trading 5 lots, they said they're up 12,741 dollars on the day. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I think what I might do, I might go one day or like on Sunday, maybe before the Vikings game. I'm going to turn it on and play back and let it run all day long today, maybe until we get to the high. And when that short signal hits, I'll just flatten it and I'm just going to see what it did. It would be fascinating on a day where I know institutionals with all their liquidity are going to play games cycling the range on a heavy all-time record options expiration day. So anyhow, there you have it. If you have any questions, the website, algo-iq.com, about to do a whole bunch of work to the website because next week, and I have a call with the Tick Blaze crew working on the tools. We're getting this stuff launched next week. No more waiting. So finally, and if you have any questions for me, info@gridalgo.com. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Have a great weekend.